Hey, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to unlock one of the simplest but most powerful secrets in German grammar: how to ask a simple yes or no question. Seriously, by the end of this, you'll be doing it without even thinking about it. Okay, let's jump right in.
Okay, so let's just look at this side by side. On the left, we've got a basic statement. Wohnt in Berlin. He lives in Berlin. Pretty simple, right? Now look at the right. It's the question version. See what happened there? Just two little words swapped places, and it completely changed the entire meaning, from a statement to a question. That's the secret sauce right there.
And we actually have a name for this. We call it the German question flip, because that's literally all it is. It's one simple move, a little flip, that turns a statement into a question. Let's break down exactly how it works.
Okay, here it is, the one rule to rule them all, the verb-first rule. For any question you could answer with yes or no, the verb, the action word that's matched to the subject, it just moves to the very first spot in the sentence. That's it. That is the whole trick.
And you can see this pattern is so consistent, it's almost beautiful. Du spielst becomes spielst du. Ihr lernt flips to lernt ihr. Even with a verb like to be, sie sind just becomes sind sie. The pattern holds up every single time. Subject and verb just do a little dance and switch places.
So, that's great for simple stuff. But what happens when our sentences get a little more complex? Let's talk about adding in power words like can or must. The good news? The same exact key works on these bigger, more complicated locks.
They're probably thinking, okay, that's fine for he lives in Berlin. But what about more realistic sentences? Ones with those helper verbs, the modals like can, must, or will. Does our simple little flip still work then?
Oh yeah, it absolutely does. And the formula is just as clean. Your conjugated modal verb, your can or must, it still flips to that number one spot. The subject slides right into second place. And then, the main verb, the actual action, gets kicked all the way to the very end of the sentence.
And look at this. It works perfectly, no matter which modal verb you use. Kannst du spielen? Muss gehen? Darf trinken? It's always the same structure. The modal is first, the main verb is dead last. The rule is rock solid.
Okay, this is where the rubber meets the road. Let's put this new skill to work in the real world. Because this isn't just about passing a grammar test, it's about actually communicating with people, like when you need to make a polite request.
So here's a huge tip. The most common, everyday way to ask someone to do something for you in German is to just ask a question using können, which means can. It's exactly like how we would say, can you do this in English?
And this works whether you're being formal with Sie or informal with du. Können Sie mir helfen for someone you don't know. Kannst du das Fenster schließen for a friend. The structure is identical. The only thing that changes is the pronoun and the verb ending. It's so simple and so useful.
All right, so you've mastered asking the questions, but what about answering them? Well, you have the two obvious answers everyone knows. And then you have a German secret weapon.
Most of the time, it's exactly what you'd expect. Someone asks a question, you say ja for yes, nein for no. Totally straightforward. But German has this one special situation that calls for a very special word.
So imagine this. Someone comes up to you and asks a negative question, like, don't you play tennis? And you want to reply, wait, what? Yes, I absolutely do play tennis. How do you say that? Just saying ja here is kind of weak and a little confusing.
This is where you use Doch. This is such a great word. It doesn't have a perfect one-word translation in English. Think of it as your tool for contradicting a negative. It's like saying, on the contrary, or, oh yes I do, actually.
And here's that exact scenario. To the question, spielst du kein Tennis, answering with a sharp Doch instantly clarifies everything. It tells them that their negative assumption was wrong. It's a really powerful and, a very German way to answer.
So now that you have all the rules, let's really quickly cover two super common traps that almost everyone falls into at the beginning. That way you can just avoid them completely.
Okay, trap number one. Thinking you can just make your voice go up at the end of a statement to make it a question. Nope. In German, you have to do the flip. You have to change the word order. And trap number two. With those modal verbs, forgetting to kick the main verb to the end. It's not Kannst du spielen Kricket,
It's Kannst du Kricket spielen. That main action has to go last.
All right, theory time is over. Let's do a quick-fire practice round just to make sure this is all locked in. You ready for this? First one. The statement is, we must buy that. How do you flip that into a yes or no question? Think about where that modal verb müssen has to go.
And there you have it. Müssen wir das kaufen? The verb müssen jumps to the front, kaufen stays right where it should be, at the very end. See? Perfect. Okay, next challenge. A real-world one. You need to ask someone formally, maybe a shopkeeper or a professor, can you repeat that please? How are you going to phrase that polite request?
That's right. Können Sie das bitte wiederholen? Können and the formal Sie are up front, and the action verb wiederholen is at the end. You just made a flawless, polite request in German. Nicely done.
So, to wrap things up, let me ask you one last question using the exact rule we just mastered. Können Sie jetzt eine Frage stellen? Can you ask a question now? I'm pretty sure the answer is a very confident Ja. Thanks for checking out The Explainer.